Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 513 based on novel. So let's start. Just half an hour later, Xiao Yan quietly left Lei Yuan and joined the large army he led. A huge army of tens of thousands is quietly dormant on the cliffs outside the 5 major courtyards at this time. The elite among them, even more than that. Yingying, how is the situation? Xiao Yang had just arrived, and immediately asked about the current situation. After all, Xiao Yang had a hunch that the real storm was coming. Xiao Yang, you are back. The current situation is not optimistic. A group of high-level officials including Mu Yingying exited at the same time, with a slightly solemn voice. Our army has gathered, except for Senior Xiao and others who stayed in Soul Eater Domain, the support troops of the Kingdom of 10,000 Ghosts. The army has been integrated and assembled here. Now that the 5 major courtyards of Lihunyu have completely fallen, and the army of the 7th evil outside the territory has surrounded the entire Lihunyu temple, I am afraid that the final battlefield will be in the endless void outside the 4 major temples. Mu Yingying frowned. When she mentioned this information, her heart was undoubtedly very complicated. Don't worry about the war, I have my own measure. Seeing Mu Yingying with such a serious expression, Xiao Yang immediately waved his hand and put her in his arms, slowly dispelling the latter's worries. By the way, how did the meeting in the Ghost World Center go? After a while, Xiao Yang asked with a smile. Yun, Sister Yun, she. When Xiao Yang asked this question, Mu Yingying's delicate body was shocked. What happened? Immediately, looking at the quiet tent, everyone couldn't help but look complicated. Xiao Yang's heart suddenly moved, and a trace of unease slowly emerged. Sister Yun went to the meeting alone. It has been a long time, but no news has come out. I worry. Mu Yingying bit her silver teeth lightly, her slender jade hand wrapped around Xiao Yang's arm, always paying attention to Xiao Yang's actions. Where is the meeting place? Xiao Yang's face became more and more ugly. He asked with a stern face. The anger and anxiety in his body became more and more intense. The center of the ghost world has a bad plan, and now I am afraid that it has already colluded with the evil clan outside the realm. Yun's single-handedly attending the meeting is undoubtedly going to die. Why didn't you let Yun stay away in advance? Domain Lord, several adults, above the height of the 5 courtyards, there is a strange figure that seems to be moving at a high speed, trying to break through the shackles of the Sea of Magic, and looking at its traces, it seems that it is coming towards us. Just when everyone was at a loss, a scout voice suddenly emerged from outside the tent. Go. As soon as the words fell, a group of strong men, including Xiao Yang, flew towards the 5 major courtyards in an instant. In the endless sky, the Sea of Magic was thick and tumbling, and there were bursts of muffled sounds swept away. The black magic energy was raging like a storm. It seemed that there was some kind of powerful ancient force, trying to break through the shackles of the Sea of Magic. Shosho. A graceful figure moved rapidly, and hot flames appeared all over her body, but at this moment, a trace of scarlet blood dripped from the edge of her lips, and her aura and demeanor were also extremely dim. It was obvious that she had experienced a real fierce battle. Yun, why are you doing such useless work? Don't you know the purpose of the meeting? In the Sea of Magic, there are countless powerful breaths dormant, imprisoning the void around Yun in an instant. At this time, a figure bathed in gloomy ghostly aura was roaring out in a frenzied voice. Beside him, he could vaguely see dozens of powerhouses. The intelligence in the eyes of these powerhouses has disappeared without a trace, and the black flames slowly burning in their eyes are like some kind of control over their minds. Seed. The master of the furnace of no return, Mu Feng and the others, all the people who attended the meeting, except for Yun who escaped from the devil's claws with her huge strength, all the others were brutally attacked by the devil. With your strength, you may not be able to restrain me. Yun snorted coldly. The power of reincarnation and the power of holy flame were used together, and they were slowly resisting the attack of everyone, but the situation was not optimistic. Going forward at full speed, just a few minutes later, Xiao Yang and other strong men came to the high altitude of the 5 major courtyards. It's Sister Yun. Go. Just after he finished speaking, everyone poured into the magic energy and approached Yun's position. Damn. It seems that I can only use that one. With a lingering voice, a beautifully matched sword with a silver glow all over its body quietly appeared in Yun's jade hand. Bang bang bang. With the appearance of the jade sword in Yun's hand, there was actually a huge wave in the entire sticky demonic energy, and the countless demonic energy actually slowly retreated, instantly evacuating the void that enveloped Yun. Xiao Yang and the others were swimming in the sea of magic. Compared with the devilish energy, their tiny figures were like ants. Forget it, you are here to protect. The evil energy in the demonic energy is monstrous, and the rest of the people do not have the power of holy flames, and the speed of advance is very slow. Xiao Yang is enveloped in endless holy flames, and he suddenly accelerates into it. I'll go with you. Mu Yingying's beautiful eyes narrowed, and there was also a spirit of lightness around her body, and the two figures instantly poured into the depths of the sea of magic. Humph. Gui Senmiao, as the deputy realm master at the center of the ghost realm, you helped you to abuse him. Today, I will completely kill you here. Tai Chi. Heaven and earth. After Yun Yun finished speaking, the dazzling power of reincarnation around her body, combined with the holy flame, slowly formed a special formula, which a little bit inspired the supreme divine power of the Tai Chi Heavenly Emperor Sword. If such ancient and extremely powerful forces are motivated here, I am afraid that these guys will be seriously injured if they don't die. Of course, it takes time to elicit this kind of power. This won't bother you anymore. But you don't seem to have that much time anymore. The hand of ghosts and gods. A billowing gloomy ghostly energy gushed out of Gui Senmiao's body without warning, only a sound like a wild beast roaring and roaring could be heard. The demonic chi rolled and vented, and small creatures danced quietly on the arm, which seemed to contain an unparalleled terrifying fluctuation. Let me come. But, Sister Yun Yun, be careful, this guy has a special power, once it is eroded by it, it will be instantly controlled by it. His strength is the pinnacle of the fifth layer reincarnation. The three bodies met again for the first time, and immediately all the power in Yun Yun calmed down. Under the protection of Mu Yingying, she slowly stepped aside. I don't know why, every time I heard Xiao Yang's voice, my heart would get closer to calm, and I always felt that all the difficulties in front of me seemed to have become less and less vulnerable. The Lord of Endless Fire Territory, is it Xiao Yang? Suffer to death. The endless ghost hand protruded out, but the attack that was enough to annihilate any strong man was instantly shattered under Xiao Yang's arm shrouded in 7-color flames. Since you're here, then let's stay completely. The attack was easily broken, Xiao Yang's body burned for the first time, and the ancient low voice sounded, slowly stinging this endless sea of magic. Retreat. At this moment, an ancient and powerful low-pitched voice quietly emerged from the sky and the sky. Withdraw. Hearing such a roar, Gui Senmiao hesitated for a while, and then led the crowd to dissipate completely. Xiao Yang. Let's fight here tomorrow. The destruction of the ghost world is also your downfall. A huge, low voice rang out. I can't ask for it. Xiao Ling smiled lightly, and his tone was filled with a monstrous fighting spirit that was not afraid of him. Just now that was the master of the center of the ghost world. Go back first. Tomorrow's decisive battle. Don't worry, this time, we will win. At the moment when the voice of the world master in the center of the ghost world appeared, Xiao Yang clearly noticed the soul-devouring talisman that had been quiet in his body, and the blood river bells fluctuated very hot, as if he felt their true master. In the depths of the Devil's Sea, endless roaring sounds roared and eroded, filled with inhuman cruelty and greed among those evil voices. That's where the elite troops of the foreign evil tribes attacked and invaded the ghost world. Nowadays, the huge Li Soul domain has already changed beyond recognition. In many areas, the land has been nibbled by the grass, the living beings have been slaughtered, and even the sea of magic is rolling, surrounded by the location of Li Huanyu Temple. Teacher, this battle. On the altar of Li Huanyu, hundreds of elites, as well as countless living soldiers, have already gathered together, such a terrifying momentum, I am afraid that no one can easily deal with it. Among the crowd, there are naturally the lords of the 4 temples and some veteran figures, but the reincarnation-level powerhouses are also very rare. There were only 10 people who surpassed the reincarnation rank, including Yun Qi, Yuan Yang, and others. Don't worry, this time, we will win. The Thunder Master seemed to know the worries in everyone's mind, and the calm voice sounded slowly, but it brought a touch of hope to everyone. Definitely win. The huge army of strong men shouted at the same time, neat and majestic. Lord Lei, after 10,000 years, this is the place where you fell. The grand demonic sound poured into Li Soul territory unsuspectingly, and even the territorial protection formation was instantly shaken, as if it would collapse completely at any time. The 7th evil god, the demigod, the deputy world master of the center of the ghost world, and those who are controlled by them. Wearing silver armor, Duo Chifei stared closely at the tumbling demonic energy in the demonic energy, and a breath of relief slowly radiated from the master of the Li Soul domain. With the pinnacle strength of the fifth layer reincarnation, and the 1,000 machine ghosts and God's umbrella, no one dares to underestimate her strength. However, with the arrival of this demonic sound, the demonic sea was boiling and shaking like molten lava, and in the depths of the rich demonic sea, countless extremely powerful breaths were slowly coming. Your Majesty Lei, please protect the other temples behind me, Yama, and I will take the lead in containing the seventh evil god. Suddenly, among the crowd at the altar, a pale old man suddenly stepped forward and said directly. The old man's expression was stern, and there was a look of pride in his ancient eyes. Shoro Jie, the head of Yama of the 10 halls of the Xiao clan, Shoro Jie, the strength of the 5th reincarnation stage. As for the other remaining Yamas, 5 were sheltered by Xiao Yang, and there were 4 others, all of whom were seriously injured in the battle to protect Lihunyu, and are now recuperating in the Lihunyu hall. Need not. The first person was in a high position, and the Thunder Master's silent gaze slowly passed through the protection of the ancient formation of endless life, looking at the vast demonic energy outside. An invisible suppressing breath slowly attacked. This battle was unavoidable, but the Thunder Lord never expected that the 7th heretic god's army would launch the final attack so quickly. Today's battle will definitely decide their life and death. Lord Lei, as the teacher of the Master of Li Soul territory, you are unmatched in the entire Li Soul territory in terms of strength and prestige. Are you surrendering to us, or do you want to be obliterated by me? There was a violent tumbling in the monstrous sea of demons, and suddenly a dark beam of light swept out, and everyone saw a dark moon wheel, and several superpowers of foreign evil races stood side by side. The 7th evil god, King Heijue, Mu Feng, the Lord of the Furnace of No Return, and even the old ghost of the Earth Spirit in the 5 courtyards, who were hidden in the thick black smoke, were full of endless eyes at this time. The greed and evil, watching the tens of thousands of creatures hidden in the ancient formation of life below. It's just a formation to intercept the 6th-level powerhouse. In an instant, a figure in black suddenly walked out of the demonic energy, and an arm covered with countless stinky blood stretched out from the black, like a special ghost pattern protected by countless ghosts and gods, and waved gently towards the ancient formation of life. Countless shattering sounds suddenly sounded, and the extremely ancient formation of life actually collapsed little by little at this time. What kind of power is this? At this moment, Yuan Yang's little face instantly turned pale, her spiritual strength seemed to be swallowed up by a never-ending abyss, making her helpless. Ghost meow. It's just a group of ants. I was able to kill you all at the time, and I can certainly do it today. Facing this scene, the Thunder Lord's grey eyes revealed a contempt that originated from the ancient times, and endless grey thunder gushed out, instantly covering this last pure land. When the magic sea tried to erode these grey thunders, the thunder spread, and the magic in the magic sea was suddenly wiped away. Hey, how could such a grand event be without our endless fire territory? Bang! In an instant, a mighty and huge team, like a beam of dawn beams, opened a crack from the sea of magic and came from a distance. These rubbish. Seeing Xiao Yang appear, Gui Senmiao couldn't help but growled in his heart. The Thunder Lord's hiding place was discovered by the Ghost Realm World Lord after a lot of effort. He disclosed his news to the 7th evil god. Naturally, the purpose was to kill the Thunder Lord, but this guy didn't kill him completely. It's too early to say this now, let's do it. There was a faint voice from the 7th evil god's black mist. It seemed that he had no worries about Xiao Yang and the Thunder Lord's strength and the army behind him. Don't forget our agreement. Gui Senmiao finally said something, seeming hesitant. That's natural. The 7th evil ***** responded. Let's fight. Let me see what power this 7th evil **** from outside the realm has. Boom. For a time, in the entire Devil's Sea, countless violent energies vented out, completely repelling the sticky Devil's Sea within a range of hundreds of miles. The masters of the 4 major temples, as well as many figures, were watching the battle with the many evil figures under control, and the momentum was huge. Teacher, you can't go. The World Master in the center of the Ghost World has not yet appeared. You should know his strength better than me. Du Chifei said in a solemn tone. The 1,000 machine ghost umbrella was naturally obtained by accident when the Thunder Master woke up and went out to recover his strength. At that time, the Thunder Lord had played against the suspected Ghost World Center, and the fighting power of the two was almost equal. As for strength, I'm afraid. Teacher, the 7th evil god, leave it to Xiao Yang. You guard Yuan Yang and Yun Qi so that they can shelter our last home. I'm going to meet this half-evil god. After Du Chifei finished speaking, her body jumped and poured directly into the sea of magic. Immediately, in the entire space, countless large and small energy ripples spread everywhere. Whether it is the magic sea or the void, there is a vague sense of illusoriness that will collapse at any time. Among the two sides, the seventh evil ***** and Xiao Yan confronted each other. Obviously, this will be the key to establishing the victory or defeat. Yun Yun and Mu Yingying, the two daughters, met the Deputy World Master Gui Senmiao. As for the old man with white bones, the cold-blooded general and other elites, they are dealing with the strong people under control together with the strong men in Li Soul domain. Du Chifei was dealing with the demigod. The Thunder Master remained motionless, with a calm demeanor as if waiting for the appearance of the World Master in the center of the ghost world. With the power of his soul and the power of Yuan Yang's formation, Yun Qi resisted the tumbling erosion of the Sea of Magic. A real storm is coming. In such a situation, I am afraid it is also the real confrontation between the endless fire domain of the Great Thousand World, the Ghost World powerhouse and the foreign evil race since the First World War. No matter who wins or loses, I am afraid it will be inherited by future generations and will be remembered 1,000 times. The magic cloud rolled, and the magic energy overflowing from the countless battle circles turned out to be slowly surrounding the high altitude of the four temples of Li Soul domain, turning into a whistling vortex of magic energy. Even this piece of heaven and earth can be easily torn apart. Several core battle circles have been completely wrapped up by the power of the enchantment field and other forces exerted by their respective powerhouses. It seems that no one knows the situation. Sister Yunyun, there is something wrong with this guy's ghost energy. I suspect that he is probably holding something from the ghost world in his hand. In the first battle circle, the two goddesses Mu Yingying and Yun Yun had solemn expressions, and the dazzling power of reincarnation and holy flame permeated the whole body. However, how powerful an attack they were allowed to erupt, they actually attacked the Deputy World Master of Gui Senmiao in front of them. Without any substantial threat. Two stinky girls, it's really troublesome. I didn't want to use those powers. In the shadow, there were faint rustling footsteps, and just a moment later, Gui Senmiao's body was completely separated from the shadow. The dark face, the gloomy eyes, and the black clothes, the whole person looks very strange, and even on this guy's face, there are countless dense black lines, like some kind of evil lines, are constantly shaking and converging. Right. This guy's strength, the peak of the fifth layer reincarnation, something is not right. At this moment, looking at Gui Senmiao who was slowly becoming crazy in his eyes, Yun Yun's beautiful eyes shrank slightly. It seems that since this guy revealed his body, the power of heaven and earth, evil power, etc. that permeated several people's bodies became boiling at the same time, which made their hearts feel heavy. 3 holy flames are really surprising and enviable. The ghost energy and evil aura circulated around Gui Senmiao's body. It turned out to be a circle of black halos, which completely surrounded him. His cold eyes looked at several battle circles high in the sky, and a faint laughter quietly spread. Out. Last time someone saved you, this time, I see who else can save you. The black lines on Gui Senmiao's body began to squirm, as if he was mobilizing some ancient things, and stared at Mu Yingying and Yun Yun like a sneer. The sarcasm was on full display. There are 3 holy flames in the bodies of the 2 women in front of them. As long as you can obliterate them and devour the 3 holy flames, the calamity of the 6th level reincarnation will be self-defeating. Otherwise, as powerful as him, and the World Master in the center of the ghost world, is now troubled by the current reincarnation calamity. For them, the long years have passed, and there is not much time left for them. If they can't find the way to transcend the calamity, they will all fall under the tribulation of reincarnation in the near future. With how powerful they are now, they are no longer able to resist the tribulation of reincarnation, which is one of the reasons why they cooperate with the evil race outside the territory. The 6th reincarnation rank, or even a more powerful existence, is undoubtedly devastating. It's too early to say that now. Mu Yingying and Yun Yun looked at each other and laughed lightly. Although Mu Yingying's strength is only at the 2nd level, but with a duo Shengyang and Fen Ju assisting Yun Yun, she may not necessarily lose to the opponent. You are stubborn, so today, the Lord is here to kill you completely. Gui Senmiao licked his tongue, and there was actually an abyss black hole in his eyes, and his tone was particularly cold and gloomy. Yin soldiers have no souls. The cold voice suddenly resounded from the heaven and the earth, and in the demonic energy behind Gui Senmiao, there were actually countless strong and sinister auras, which quickly gathered and surged. Like thousands of soldiers with souls, the kind of shock and prestige they carry makes people shudder. Call the Yin soldiers. This is a cruel method of refining the souls of living people. Mu Yingying's face was pale, and she spoke with some hatred. Tai Kai. Who? At this moment, Yun Yun's expression was calm, and a beautiful matching sword suddenly emerged from the slender jade hand. The matching sword just appeared, and suddenly brought an unparalleled fierce aura. The two sword spirits in the Tai Chi Heavenly Emperor sword. That was when the Heavenly Emperor captured and suppressed it from the mysterious cave in the center of the immortal realm. Although Yun Yun has not been completely tamed yet, when faced with the endless evil power of Gui Senmiao, the two peerless fierce spirits seemed to be provoked, and the profound power gradually spread out, shrouding the void of thousands of meters around the three of them. Stand up. The wind and thunder surged together, and the momentum was terrifying. The sword of the Tai Chi Heavenly Emperor was screaming, and two fierce spirits tried to break through the shackles, showing their majesty. Go! If you can help me kill the evil spirits, I will help you to completely transform your spirits. Seemingly sensing something, Yun Yun raised her jade hand and waved slowly, and two peerless fierce spirits unexpectedly broke free from the suppression and restraint of the Tai Chi Heavenly Emperor sword and flashed out. It is naturally very simple for two fierce spirits at the peak of the fivefold reincarnation level to deal with a powerhouse at the peak of the fivefold reincarnation. Snoring. Countless shadow soldiers roared, and the terrifying low-pitched roar that shook the soul filled the air, but when it spread to the body of the two fierce spirits, they were all torn apart. There is no resistance at all. The power of these two ferocious spirits should not be underestimated, otherwise they would not be rashly suppressed by an existence as strong as the Heavenly Emperor. Breakthrough. The huge movement of a dragon and a wind turned the entire sea of demons into agitation in an instant, and the overwhelming murderous aura swept out, as if the body of Gui Senmiao was isolated from the sea of magic in an instant. At this moment, he seemed to be comfortably suppressed by the power of two ferocious spirits, and was exiled into a void. One of his powers was exhausted, and all that awaited him was death. Who? It's no wonder that the World Master told me to act carefully, it really is a group of tricky guys. Looking at the terrifying offensive of the dragon and the phoenix in front of him, Gui Senmiao's gloomy tone emerged again, but this time the sound of the voice turned out to be a sinister power slowly rising and rising rise. Well, today is the burial place of yours. Gui Senmiao smiled. The smile was so crazy and disdainful. There were countless cruel and ruthless bloodthirsty auras in his eyes. Immediately, the dark lines all over his body actually fell off from his body and skin, and then slowly surged into his chest. It seems to be constructing some kind of illusory thing. For a time, the sky was dark and the earth was dark, and a black light looked like a scroll of fighting skills, slowly rising from the front of it, and a strong ghostly power suddenly burst out, constantly impacting and shaking the hearts and souls of the two women. Under such a shock, the faces of the two women instantly turned pale, and the soul power within their bodies seemed to have been traumatized like never before. The eighth evil weapon in the ghost world, the Yin and Yang scroll of ghosts and gods. Immediately, a touch of shock and unease suddenly poured into Mu Yingying's heart. Even those two peerless fierce spirits burst into roars at this time. It seems that this evil weapon is enough to threaten their evil lives. The ghosts and gods Yin and Yang scrolls are powerful, not only the legendary ghosts and gods, but also contain ghosts and gods' portraits. Such absolute power is enough to completely suppress them. Once suppressed by this evil weapon, the only thing waiting for them is to be destroyed. In the sky, the war is still going on in full swing. With the appearance of the Yin-Yang scroll of ghosts and gods, Gui Senmiao's whole person's breath has undergone earth-shaking changes. Through the black clothes, one can vaguely see that on Gui Senmiao's current skin, there are gloomy lines wriggling in the flesh and blood, revealing an unprecedented cold aura. Those forces seem to be gnawing at his origin, his life, but as a price, the huge repressive power of the ghosts, gods, Yin and Yang scrolls is also mobilized by it. Those are the powers that control the Yin and Yang scrolls of ghosts and gods. In an instant, Mu Yingying's heart trembled, the corners of her eyes trembled violently, and she keenly noticed the changes in Gui Senmiao's body. Sister Yun Yun, I will use the power of the fusion of two holy flames to temporarily separate his attention, and I will leave it to you later. Mu Yingying tried her best to make a smiling face, and the burning path in her body slowly rose. The power of the Yin-Yang scroll of ghosts and gods is too strange. Even now she is not fully sure. But she raised her eyes slightly, and when she saw the fiercest battlefield in this sea of devils, Mu Yingying's heart burst out with an extremely powerful beating. Every time he faces such a huge scene, he will rush to the front, even if there are scars all over his body. At this moment, Mu Yingying seemed to understand something. What Xiao Yang possesses is not only luck, but also the fearless courage to protect his family, friends, and support the common people. No. Yun Yun suppressed the trembling in her soul realm, and directly scattered part of her holy flame's source power and handed it to Mu Yingying. This is. Seeing Yun Yun's actions, Mu Yingying's face became solemn, and she looked at Yun Yun in disbelief. Although the gift of the source of the holy flame is only a part of the holy flame in the latter's body, such a move really requires absolute trust and approval. 3 kinds of holy flames, cooperate with them, and help me buy some time. After Yun Yun finished speaking, there were bursts of relief on the pretty face, and then the beautiful eyes closed gently, quietly running the fairy gods, triggering the ancient power of the Taiji Heavenly Emperor Sword, a majestic power like a newborn lamb, slowly gathering. With the power of the Taiji Heavenly Emperor Sword and the divine art, one blow is enough to annihilate all beings, but she needs time. And in order not to let Gui Senmiao make time to disrupt other battle circles, Mu Yingying, Tianlong, and Difeng will undoubtedly have to bear this guy's full anger. The strength of the pinnacle of the 5th layer reincarnation, combined with the 8th evil weapon of the ghost world, such strength can really be comparable to some ordinary 6th layer reincarnation powerhouse. The yin and yang scroll of ghosts and gods is divided into 2 parts, like a gloomy and dark cage, constantly entrenched beside Gui Senmiao. It seems that as long as he quietly waved his hand, the huge repressive force can completely obliterate Mu Yingying. Breakthrough. At the same time, the power of reincarnation filled the whole body of Tianlong and Difeng, and they turned out to be roaring at Mu Yingying. The powers of Gui Senmiao and the evil weapon are too powerful, even they can be easily suppressed. Such a roar naturally makes Mu Yingying retreat. Are you afraid? Facing this scene of nearly 10 deaths and no life, Mu Yingying's long slender hair surged, and a soft voice echoed throughout the sky. The power of ants is only worthy of surrendering to the feet of the strong forever. After Gui Senmiao used the evil weapon, he laughed wildly like a lunatic, looked at the indifferent Mu Yingying in front of him, and roared, "Burning judgment! Holy flame!" The next moment, Mu Yingying's cold and low voice completely swept the entire void. There is an unparalleled chilling aura in his eyes, like a mighty Valkyrie who is not afraid of heaven and earth. The azure blue flame, the pink flame, and the pure white flame, the 3 flames instantly wrapped and burned the entire body, and even the bones and meridians burned. Every time the heart beats, there will be endless holy flame aura pouring into the body, pouring out into the body's limbs and bones. Under such a nearly destructive means, Mu Yingying clearly felt Fen Ju's call and greed for the 3 holy flames. But under his control, the 3 flames, like urchins, kept pouring into his delicate body, scorching the latter's delicate bones and blood. Every time the burning, the impact, the enormous pressure will make Mu Yingying in a trance and faint. But no matter how many times, Mu Yingying gritted her teeth and survived. That feeling was no less than transformation and sublimation, walking back from the gate of hell. It turns out, he actually needs to face this kind of torture every time. This kind of torture was scorching and scorching. I don't know how long it took. A pure white ethereal bird that was nearly several dozen meters long appeared in front of Mu Yingying's delicate body. The whole body is full of sacred splendor, and the origin of the 3 holy flames is perfectly integrated, which seems to contain some kind of destructive power that can be learned from the world. Die. Gui Senmiao swayed out with one blow, and the monstrous power of yin and yang of ghosts, gods, and yin and yang instantly pierced through the void and blasted away at the latter's vital point. However, what kind of terrifying attack was allowed to be performed by him, and he was actually stopped by Tianlong, Difeng, and Ethereal Bird. How can it be? At this moment, Gui Senmiao's eyes were full of shock, and he suddenly lost his voice. How could a mere 3rd-level strength resist his own attack? Whether it is the 3 holy flames, or the power of Fen Ju. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. 3 holy flames. Mu Yingying smiled sweetly, Fen Ju revolved, and a steady stream of power poured into the ethereal bird. Suddenly the ethereal bird raised its arms and stretched its wings, like an ancient divine bird soaring into the sky, rushing directly into the place where Gui Senmiao was located. In the sea of magic. The clouds rolled, and only a frenzied roar could be heard from within the sea of demons. Obviously, Mu Yingying's attack had touched the origin of Gui Senmiao. Let me come. Cut, impermanence. Just as the gloomy roar gushed out, trying to launch an even more devastating attack on Mu Yingying, the icy sound of killing fell from the sky like a master who controls life and death. Boom. The roar resounded throughout the world, and a nearly pure white sky shrouded the battlefield of the 3 in an instant. In the pure white sky, there was absolutely no ghost energy, no erosion from the sea of magic, and all the energy disappeared in an instant. What kind of trick is this? At this moment, Gui Senmiao's body was shaken. The evil power and ghost energy in his body, at the moment when they poured into the pure white sky, actually slowly decayed. The black clothes were slowly burned away, revealing flesh and blood. At this time, almost no piece of flesh and blood is complete, and the rotten stench is slowly rising from the flesh and blood, and then gradually injected into the ghosts and gods in front of the yin and yang scroll. Under the influence of its ghost chi and evil power, the ghost, god, yin and yang scroll has actually undergone some kind of mutation, and it actually devoured the host's evil power little by little. Do not. Impossible. At this moment, Gui Senmiao was like a walking corpse, raising his head with some difficulty, his pupils dilated sharply. In this sky, a woman haunted by a halo of pure white flames is holding a divine sword high, trying to pronounce his life and death. It's not a pity to die to help Zhou dynasty. Immediately, the majestic voice fell, and the top of the sky suddenly cracked slowly. A shocking crack in the sky emerged first, followed by an inch-long pure white divine sword, carrying some kind of divine power that humans could not compete with. Swing straight down. The solemn and sacred light is like the endless punishment that the gods have cast down on the world. Even a five-fold reincarnation-level powerhouse as strong as Gui Senmiao will probably be slaughtered by his sword, and his body and spirit will be destroyed. The pure white divine sword fell straight, and the dazzling halo poured over the entire Lizhun realm, illuminating and shocking every creature here, every inch of the void. The pure white sky was shattered, and this level of energy fluctuation seems to have exceeded the strongest attack that a normal five-layer reincarnation-level powerhouse can perform. The army in the Sea of Magic and the army of Li Huanyu were lost for a moment, and their eyes were fixed on the three figures in the broken sky. The fear in his eyes is very obvious. It seems that this vast heaven and earth divine power, once it acts on anyone here, may be instantly wiped out. Gui Senmiao wanted to move, but found that all traces of his actions were completely blocked by this divine power, so he didn't have time to avoid it. The halo of the pure white sword was like a hot molten flame, all over his scarred skin. On Kong's body, a little bit of purification annihilates the evil power and ghost energy in his body. Do not. The next moment, eroded by this level of energy, Gui Senmiao's entire body trembled uncontrollably, cold sweat dripped, and a touch of real unease finally replaced reason. He could only use the last ounce of strength to roar, trying to gather the demonic and ghost energy around him to replenish himself to resist the devastating blow of the Xion. Destroyed. Looking at Gui Senmiao's gloomy face, Yun Yun's eyes were silent, her voice was cold, and it sounded like a real asterisk of death. The moment his voice fell, countless pure white flames of light that had already spread all over Gui Senmiao's body instantly boiled. The terrifying power of burning and purification directly purifies and erodes away his body. In an instant, Gui Senmiao's body and soul were quietly submerged under Yun Yun's top immortal technique, and it was only in the blink of an eye. The supreme power of the Tai Chi Heavenly Emperor Sword, combined with Yun Yun's current strength and divine art, can naturally kill the latter in an instant. The first battle circle was announced, and the two women were a little vain, but there was still a scroll of ghosts and gods hidden in the gloomy cage, and it seemed that some kind of strange mutation was taking place. Bang! The huge loud noise made countless people's eyes fall on the first battle circle. Gui Senmiao, the deputy world owner of the center of the ghost world, actually died. Destroy both body and spirit. I don't know who was the first to say a word. Immediately, countless soldiers in the battle in Li Sol territory, their scarlet eyes were full of crazy joy. As powerful as the Ghost World Center, the Deputy World Master has been obliterated, so what else can't be done? They will win this war. The hope of surviving made these strong souls in the Li Sol realm erupt into a monstrous situation again, like a warrior who is not afraid of life and death, resisting the foreign army. When did the power of top immortal arts directly endanger the lives of the powerhouses at the peak of the fifth reincarnation level? Lord Lei sat on the throne of the altar, slowly commanding the army and resisting the enemy's army. At this time, looking at the two women above the sky, he couldn't help but become surprised. Even when she saw Yun Yun and the two girls, she had the intention of trying to subdue them. Ying, what are you doing? Are you crazy? At the end of the battle, the auras of the two women were a little illusory. It was obvious that they had used too much power, and they had no power to fight. However, just when she wanted to leave here, Yun Yun saw Mu Ying stretch out her hand to face the ghosts and gods yin-yang scroll. Explore. With Mu Ying's current weak strength, if it were eroded by the mutated ghosts and gods, the consequences would be unimaginable. Sister Yun Yun. I need it. Facing Yun Yun's questioning, Mu Yingying raised her chest and looked at Yun Yun with clear eyes without any shyness. This evil weapon has been eroded by evil forces. With your current strength, you can't control it at all, and you will even be counter-controlled by it and become an alien evil. Yun Yun shook her head and stretched out her palm to try to intercept Mu Yingying. Her voice was stern, and there was no room for maneuver. Yun Yun would never let Mu Yingying do such a dangerous thing. I don't want to be a guy who holds him back. Sister Yun Yun should know better than me about that feeling. But, as a pure holy flame, I'll be fine. Sister Yun Yun, just trust me. Go. The emptiness around was purified, and the monstrous evil energy spread out in an instant. Yun Yun took Mu Yingying's jade hand and suddenly poured into the altar of Li's soul domain below. As for the yin-yang scroll of ghosts and gods in the mutant state, at this moment, she was lying quietly on Mu Yingying's palm, and strands of dark demonic energy slowly overflowed, but they were constantly suppressed and resisted by Mu Yingying. But if Mu Yingying wanted to get this for such power, I am afraid there is a price to pay. The current situation is still not optimistic. Those guys haven't appeared for a long time. The strength and character of the two of you really impress me. The two women had just entered the altar of Li Huanyu, when a strong man with Lei Master's subordinates spoke to him, as if he wanted to recruit these two heroic women into his command. We are Xiao Yang's people. Facing the bragging of several Li Huanyu senior executives below, Mu Yingying smiled sweetly, then sat cross-legged with Yun Yun, took out the recovery pill that Xiao Yang had refined for her, and recovered. Xiao Yang's person? Such an understatement, however, caused a huge wave in Lei Zhu's heart. Your Majesty, I found that an elite force from outside the territory was attacking. They were trying to break through the defensive formation and attack the temple. Suddenly, the scarred Li Hunwei emerged from the battlefield and respectfully spoke to the Thunder Lord. Dozens of reincarnation powerhouses. Among them are the 10 ghost kings in the center of the ghost world, but they are all controlled and demonized. In the face of that mighty wrong, Lord Lei couldn't help but be surprised. Water Legion, Defense. After the Thunder Master finished speaking, a grey thunder suddenly shot into the sky. The grey thunder just reached the sky, and it shone like a hot firework in the sky, rumbling. At the moment when this beam appeared, hundreds of water-type powerhouses in the crowd left the battlefield at the same time, and immediately formed a water-type army in the high sky of the Four Temple. Waterfall. Water Dragon howls. A team of hundreds of people, one after another of powerful fighting skills, like stars shining, resounded directly in this dim magical energy. Their strength is almost spread between the 7 stars and the 8 stars, but the vast water attribute fighting skills are applied together, like the gathering of countless water elements, forming a vast ocean that shelters countless creatures in the Li Soul domain. The ocean is filled with the power of the extremely strong water system. No matter what kind of terrifying offensive the opponent launches, it is impregnable. The sound of the whistling hurricane, the sound of demonic energy tearing through the void, countless evil attacks fell into the Jiaozhong Ocean like meteors, radiating rays of light, and bursts of collapse emerged. But with the protection of these hundreds of water-type powerhouses, the almost endless fighting skills filled the vacancies in an instant. In addition, in the high altitude of Lihuan territory, the peak battles in the other two places are also becoming more and more intense. The terrible fluctuations that are enough to annihilate all things, slowly recover and spread out, and where they spread, even the heaven and the earth. The power has produced a very serious rout. This video will end here.